Thick versus thin chocolate chip cookies.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be making thick and thin chocolate chip cookies. We'll be using recipes by two different food bloggers, so let's get right into it. So we're getting started with the first recipe, which is the thin chocolate chip cookies, and we'll be using Broma Bakery's recipe. These are the ingredients: unsalted butter, brown sugar and regular sugar, 2 eggs, vanilla extract, salt, not this much, baking soda, definitely not this much, and flour. So she actually has us brown the butter. This creates such a great flavor in cookies or in really anything that you're making, and it's just so good. So I have the saucepan on medium-low heat, and we're just gonna let this thing cook and sizzle, pop and sizzle, snap, crackle, and pop. So not only is it gonna be thick versus thin, but there's also gonna be a flavor difference as well. So we're just letting this butter melt, and in a few minutes it'll start to brown. If you could smell this brown butter right now, girl, you don't even know. It smells so good. The aroma has just smelled the whole house up. It just, love it. Love it. All right, so you can see all those brown bits. That's obviously the brown butter and smells amazing. So now we're putting the brown butter into a bowl with all those bits. You really want to make sure you get all those bits because that's where all the flavor is. And then we're adding our sugars. I already measured these out. It's a cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of coconut sugar. I mean, it calls for granulated sugar, but it's really the same thing, kind of. Not really. It's a different kind of flavor. Coconut sugar definitely adds a flavor to it, so beware of that if you decide to use it, but it still like has the same effect. It's not like it's gonna change the cookie structure or anything like that. It's really just a flavor difference. We're just combining this together with my little red spatula here. This is where we're at. We have some buttery, sugary goodness here. It's time for the one-handed egg crack, the thing you've all been waiting for. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Everybody, say a prayer for me. Fail. That was an utter, complete fail. I got 2 pieces of shell in there. 3, I think I got 3 pieces. This is the walk of shame. I'm going in there and picking out the pieces of shell that fell. I mean, if I can find them. If I can find them. All right, I got all 3 pieces of eggshell out. Okay, everyone, don't worry. But we're gonna try again because I cannot go out like that. I cannot be known for that. Ready? Let's do it. Oh, second fail of the day. I mean, this was a little better actually. It was just 1 piece of shell, right? That's nothing, right guys? No. I was supposed to only put the egg yolk in there, not the whole egg. I hate when I do this. I was not paying attention. I was way too focused on trying to prove myself with the one-handed egg crack. We're just gonna have to do it. It's just gonna have to be like this and we're gonna see how it turns out, okay? There's nothing we can do now. We're adding in a full tablespoon of vanilla extract. I usually measure this with my heart, okay? But since it's calling for so much, I had to measure it. Now we're just mixing this up, and I think the lesson that we've learned from this is don't get caught up trying to prove yourself to people and impress others with your one-handed egg crack because you'll forget that the recipe only called for 1 yolk. We'll see what happens. I've never done that before, so I'm acting like I've never made a mistake before. We'll see how these cookies turn out. See how good this looks? Nice and glossy. Now we're adding in 1 cup and 3/4 of flour. Beautiful. 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda apparently can be used for a million things. What is baking soda? You can use it for food, you can use it for laundry, you can use it for cleaning, you can also eat it. What's up with that? Did I just do 2 or 3? Oh my gosh, we're going crazy today. I think that's good. Now we're doing 3/4 teaspoon of salt, giving that a good old mix. Now it calls for 1½ cups of chocolate chips. 1½ cups, that's my kind of cookie. Are you kidding me? Bring on the chocolate. There we go. Giving that a nice mix. This cookie dough smells so good. I'm not the type to just eat cookie dough. I know some people are like, cookie dough, you know what I'm saying? I don't really do that. I'd much rather just wait until it's baked and then eat it. It doesn't taste as good when it's raw. I don't know. To each their own, I guess. This is what our dough looks like right now. We're gonna cover it and put it in the fridge. It's supposed to be in there for at least 1 hour. It's gonna be in there for many hours because I'll be making the thick dough and then we're gonna bake them both at the same time. Now we're on to the next recipe, which is Butternut Bakery's recipe for bakery style chocolate chip cookies. So they're gonna be big and thick, nice and big and nice and thick. We're starting off with 2 1/4 cup of flour. And you'll notice in this one, there's a lot more flour. And in the other one, where the thin cookies, there's a lot more sugar.
And I think that's because the ratio of flour and sugar is what causes it to either be thin or thick. The sugar helps the cookies spread. Or flour, I think it helps it be more thick.
So then we have a teaspoon of cornstarch. This is an interesting one. I don't even know what cornstarch is. Then we have half a teaspoon of baking powder. And here we are again with the baking soda. We're gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of that. And then we have half a teaspoon of salt. Oh, I've got flour flying all over the place. Just giving that a quick mix to combine, and then we're gonna set that aside and get going on the real stuff. So now we'll be mixing the butter and the sugars, and what it calls for is 1 cup of European style butter, which technically I do have, but I have all of this unsalted butter to use as well, and so I'm just gonna end up using this. I know that it would taste better with the European style butter, but right now we're using unsalted butter, and I feel like more people have that anyway on hand. But I did read in the comments that people were loving the taste difference with the European style butter, and so I'm like, do I use it? Do I not use it? But I've already brought this one to room temp, so it's like, I'll just use it next time. We're adding in 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And now I'm just adding in a 1/4 cup of coconut sugar. You have to let me know, do you want to see these measurements in the metric system? Because I know someone commented that they want to see it in like grams and everything. If you're interested in that, you have to let me know and I will start putting it in grams as well. You'll definitely want a hand mixer or stand mixer for this. I am using the hand mixer, obviously. I couldn't find this. It took me like 5 minutes to find this. I was about to lose my mind. I was like, I'm not doing this by hand. Not today. And so we're gonna use the hand mixer and we're just gonna beat these together until they're light, pale, and fluffy. Okay, so now we're back to the egg situation. This one really does call for 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. I will try the one-handed egg crack one more time because I have to, you know I have to. But on the second one, we'll be doing a two-hander and we'll be separating the egg white from the yolk. But first, we'll be doing it this way. Oh, that was amazing. That was beautiful. Why was it perfect? 3rd time's a charm, baby. Now I'm just using 2 hands and separating the egg white from the egg yolk. There we go. Nice and easy does it. We're just adding the yolk in there, and we're getting 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, using the cap as always, and then just giving it a quick mix. Look how pale and fluffy this is. Oh my gosh. Now we're ready for our next step. So I'm just adding in those dry ingredients we did earlier, and then I'm gonna be mixing it by hand, putting in a little love into it. Okay, do you guys think I should start wearing an apron in these cooking show videos? Because last time, if you watched the ice cream video, which if you haven't seen that yet, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun making it, a lot of fun watching it. I was chatting with you guys in the comments. And if you saw that one, you saw that I stained my shirt, but I'm really testing the waters with this one right now. So if you think I should start wearing an apron, please let me know in the comments. So this is what it looks like, and now we're gonna add our chopped chocolate. I'm gonna use 3/4 cup of dark chocolate. I have no idea how much this is, so we're just gonna cut it and we're gonna measure it. I don't know if you really need a knife as big as the one that I'm using, but it's kind of fun. Just kidding. I never know how big to do the chunks of chocolate. I mean, not that anyone really minds a big chunk of chocolate, you know? It's not like anyone has said, gosh, this chunk of chocolate's too big in my cookie. Okay, I'm just finishing up recording this part on my phone actually because my camera died. Great timing. This always happens. I say something pretty vital to the video or whatever I'm talking about. So super important, vital information. It was a joke. It always cuts off right when I'm hitting the punchline. I'm not really sure what that's about. All right, so that's 3/4 cup of dark chocolate. Now we're adding in a full cup of chocolate chips as well. These are semi-sweet. And we're just giving that a nice light mix because again, you don't want to overwork the dough when the flour's in there.
Something about like working in the gluten and it just makes it tough.
And you just don't want a tough cookie. All right, here's our cookie dough. Look at it, look how good this looks. The mix of chocolate chips and dark chocolate chunks, you can't beat it. It's gonna be so good. This next part is the fun part. You have no idea how big these cookies are gonna be. We're using 3/4 cup as our measurement for the cookies and placing 3 of them on the cookie tray. And then I'm actually gonna freeze the rest of the dough and just have that in the freezer for whenever I wanna make a giant cookie. This would be much more accurate if you were using a food scale, but I don't have one, so I'm using just regular measuring cups. So I'm starting out with 1/2 cup like that. Look, this is already huge. And this is only 1/2 cup. And then I'll just add a little bit more in here for a 1/4 cup to make 3/4 cup. Like that. That was a little much, but still. It looks good to me. We're adding it to this big dough ball here. This is huge. Look at this. This is our cookie. This is one cookie. We're supposed to keep them pretty tall. You don't really want to flatten them out. Look at the size of these. Now these are gonna chill for many hours, uncovered just like this, and I will see you soon for our big reveal. So it's actually been a couple days. These are the bakery style ones, the really thick ones, look at them. I still can't, oh, almost fell off right there. I still can't get over it, like these are huge. Okay, we're gonna pop them in the oven, 350 degrees for 13 minutes and see what they look like. Here's our next batch. This is the thin chocolate chip cookie. Look at this dough. Rock solid. So I'm just gonna put a few on this sheet pan, and then the rest I'm going to put into a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. Perfect for when you have those late night cravings. I'm really not measuring these. I just eyeball it. Every single time I eyeball it, and I feel like I make them the same size anytime I do that. I'm curious how these are gonna turn out because the last time I made this recipe, I don't think I chilled the dough for very long. This has been in the fridge for literally 48 hours, so it should actually turn out really nice. There we go, we have 3 ready for the oven. And while I roll out the rest of this dough, what do you think would be good for an ice cream sandwich with a cookie? Do you think it would be these really thin chocolate chip cookies? Or would you prefer a thick chocolate chip cookie with some ice cream and another cookie? I'm thinking about adding some ice cream in between these thin ones and popping that in the freezer. Are you kidding? I feel like if I made that, people would be banging down the door. Banging down the door. They'd be smelling that chocolate chip cookie smell, and they'd be like, what's that noise? Oh, she's churning homemade ice cream. And then boom, right into a ice cream cookie sandwich. That would be incredible. I have to make that. Now that I'm saying it, I can't stop thinking about it. Seriously though, this is my biggest tip of the day. Whenever you're making cookies, do your best to have some extra cookie dough, or just make a double batch, or do something so you can put cookie dough in the freezer. And then whenever you want a cookie, you just sneak yourself right into that freezer, pop them on a cookie sheet, throw them in the oven, and then you have cookies. You can enjoy a nice chocolate chip cookie with some milk. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to have these. I'm so excited. It's been 13 minutes, and this is what they look like. They still have a mound in the center. So I'm supposed to leave it in for another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so I just checked on the cookies again, and they still have a mound. So I'm not really sure what that's about. I don't know if I made them too big. But then again, can cookies ever really be too big? When has someone ever said, gosh, that cookie's too big? No one ever says that. Who says that? We're taking it out. Oh, girl, look at that. This is insane. Do I need to open up a bakery? Like, what even is this? I think that's good. I don't know. I never do that. One more, another one, and one more. Well, let's just do a couple more. I think that's good. I'm afraid because they're kind of breaking when I do that. You're gonna have to get a closer look at this. Now we're putting in the thin cookies. So I'm drooling right now. Can you just take a minute? Can we just take a minute? And just a moment of silence to appreciate what just came out of this oven right now. What we just made together. We labored with love. There were tears and sweat, blood, all put into this cookie. And here we are. They look amazing. They smell so good. You know the nostalgic smell of chocolate chip cookies. That's what you're getting right now, that whiff. If you know me at all, you know that I love topping anything sweet with a heavy pinch of salt. You know how you can call an animal like a dog or a cat with shaking their food? This is how you would call me. You'd be like, Francesca, Francesca. And I'd be like, salt?
Put some flaky sea salt on my chocolate chip cookie, and also on the second one.
Okay, so I just took the thin ones out of the oven, and I have a confession to make real quick. I was literally just doing a photo shoot with these 2 big cookies right here because they're just, I mean, you just, come on, speechless right now, speechless. And I didn't really check on these, so now they're overdone. And I'm annoyed. Good thing I have extra in the freezer. I think I'm gonna make 2 more, and I don't wanna do a comparison when one is clearly done perfectly, might I say, while these ones are overcooked. Okay, so I just took these out of the oven. I only put them in there for 11 minutes because I was afraid of overdoing it. You can see definitely on the thinner side, which is exactly what we were looking for. And I'm obviously gonna top it with salt because why wouldn't I? It's officially everyone's favorite part, the taste test. At least this is my favorite part because obviously I get to eat it. We need a glass of milk. You cannot have a chocolate chip cookie without a glass of milk. First, we have the thin cookie. I'm gonna be honest with you, I do not like a hard cookie. So for it to be thin and still soft and chewy, sounds good to me. Glass of milk, thin cookie, our first dunk. How many times do you dunk? How many did I just do, 5? I'm still going. We saturate the cookie. Perfect. That was perfect. It's a perfect crispy edge, soft center. I'm pleasantly surprised with this. Like I said, I'm not usually into the thinner cookies. Sometimes they tend to be on the harder side, but this one, soft in the middle. Mind you, this is from the first batch I did that I said I overdid. Why did it still turn out good? Why did it still turn out good? You need that milk dunking. Cow's milk, baby. Can't beat it. U.S. America! And just to show you the difference, this is a thin cookie from the second batch I did, where it was only in the oven for 11 minutes, and it's much doughier in the middle. You can see I'm just pushing right through it. I'll have a bite of this one too. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. The brown butter makes all the difference. You can quote me on this, put it on my gravestone. The brown butter makes all the difference. I'd have to say, I feel like I'm giving that like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. I don't even know. So I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling like that was a 10. On to the cookie we've all been waiting for. The monster cookie that's almost as big, or is it bigger? Almost as big, same size, big as my face. I already broke this one, so you're gonna see it like this. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful this looks. Oh, does anyone you know get this excited about cookies? I mean, this is almost weird. As soon as I said that, as soon as I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, whoa, you need to tone it down. You're getting too excited. People are gonna think you're weird. I'll take it down a notch. Wow, look at this amazing cookie that we made. So thick. Look at all those chocolate chips. It's just not natural. It's just not natural. I have to get out of that. I'm excited about it. I can't even help it, okay? Look at that. Having the chocolate chunks in there and chocolate chips makes all the difference. Again, let's dunk it. Let's dunk it, baby. You ready? Here we go. Cheers. Dunk. That was the sound effect for this one. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, I love when I can see the milk just absorbing into the cookie. Here we go. I'm so excited. I hope this tastes just as good as the other one. Got better with the second bite. Even better. I have my thoughts. I feel like this channel is just turning into you watching me eat. It's getting weird. I need to wash this down with some more milk. U.S. America! That was so thick and soft, it was like a pillow. I just bit into a chocolate chip cookie pillow. That's really what that was. I have my final thoughts. On the thin cookie, I'm giving it a 10. That's right. No, I'm giving it a 9, actually. Take it back. I'm giving it a 9.5 because the taste is so there. You need the taste. In a chocolate chip cookie, you need to have that nostalgic chocolate chip cookie taste, sweet, salty. Everything's got to be there. The taste of the thin cookie, dare I say it, is better than the taste of the thick cookie, and that's because of the brown butter. Maybe if I had used salted European butter, I think that would have helped out a lot. So the next time you make these, I'm going to do that, and I bet you there's going to be a taste difference. For the thick cookies, I'm giving them a 9 because look-wise, they're so there. They look much better than the thin cookies. With chocolate chunks in there plus the chocolate chips, it gives you that different flavor, it gives you the different texture, the different look. You know I like them big and thick, all right? You know that. So that does it for me right there. And the texture of these, look, I don't even think you realize, are you really getting this? Look how soft it is on the inside. It's a pillow. It's a pillow. I'm into that. I'm not into the cakey cookies. I'm into the doughy ones that are dense. So I really do like this. The reason I gave it a lower rating is because on taste, the thin ones, they took it. They have it with the brown butter. So good. These are winners all around. Look at my plate. I was like, I'll taste test all of them. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, here are the remnants. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what else you want to see. Put it down in the comments below, and I will see you next time back in the kitchen.